VoyMonk Video Voice vlog. How you doing? How's it going? What are you up to? Are you having an interesting start to the week? What'd you do on the weekend? I know I'm saying this as though I expect an immediate response, maybe in the way that I'm saying it, but yeah. Kind of a heck of a week last week as far as doing the video voice vlogs. Kind of surprised myself by what it is that I have been meaning to say. And I know that I'm a bit repetitive. I know I'm quite a bit repetitive. But I think that's okay sometimes. When things are important, sometimes being repetitious when things are working are definitely a part of, keeping them working. I don't know, as far as by the time I'm recording this at the moment, how each of these will be in terms of views and all that kind of thing. But as far as in the way of success, I feel successful in that I'm doing these the way that I want to. But that being as it may, I've talked about myself in terms of my experience as far as, mental issues, being ugly, obese, and all that. But as far as my experience, as far as with internet and, social stuff, as far as online social networks and things for lack of a way of description or explaining, I don't know. I think regardless to whether it's the internet or not, escapism has always been kind of a way of coping for most people. Some people do it through sports. Some people do it through recreational activities. Some people do it through recreational other things or whatever. But yeah, I do think it's important though, because, if there isn't a way to decompress, there isn't a way to kind of get away from thoughts on a particular subject, at least for me, oftentimes that leads to bad places. And I think probably like a lot of what people think is that, well, if you take too much time or you're not really making much progress or advancement, then, part of the reason why some people are, I guess, better than others is because, they're willing to do the thing that most people won't. And I would say that that's true. I mean, I've seen that, I've experienced that and that kind of thing or whatever, but there's a consequence for everything, including those types of sacrifices. And I've also seen it where, people who don't decompress, people who are constantly obsessing about certain things, they may get to a point in their life where sometimes they'll crash out or, actually I hate kind of that term, but it's crash, or they may have problems and stuff because, they've never reckoned it. Coping is a thing that I definitely have a trait for, and avoidance is something that I've definitely dealt with most of my life. I think I probably got it from my dad because he seemed to have a lot of that. But I think escapism is good nevertheless, because like I said, when you don't decompress, I think probably one of the things that you're very likely to do are the things that you really rather consciously would not. I think one of my favorite movies was the one with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. I can't remember the name. Anger Management. Hilarious film. I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan. I'm not over the moon about Jack Nicholson, but this was a great movie. And I thought it was very poignant because it definitely, I think, spoke to a lot of, at least what I've experienced as far as that with issues that I've had and I've explained. But yeah, it's like as far as anger doesn't just go away when you ignore it, Anxiety also doesn't go away when you simply ignore it. Now, like I said, I'm not pontificating, I'm not an expert, I anything like that, but I do think that, anger, love, hurt, resentment, these are things that are natural parts of the human condition. I don't cry very often. Sometimes I wish that I would or I could, easier than I have or done. But, there's lots of different things that will cause me not to. Just like I'm a little bit sometimes more passive than I should be. And, that's not because I'm dealing with an emotion or whatever. Sometimes it's because, I can't honestly function. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for my Monday vlog here, for gosh sakes. I'm not going to be going into a lot of this stuff the rest of the week, because I think I've dealt with a lot of emotional stuff already. And but yeah, that's going to do it for this Monday vlog. So until next time, take care.